The bad glute training advice that you do not want to take. I'm going to share this with you now so that this way, if you ever hear this circling throughout the media, you can just block your ears and go, good for you, and walk away. So when it comes to our glutes, it is so important that they are able to lengthen and contract. But unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation and people are told to squeeze and overwork those muscles. And I'm gonna just give you some really common examples that I see and I still see to this day. And I would have thought that people would have moved on, but they clearly haven't. And also, I'm going to emphasize the importance of stability in your trunk and your torso when working your glutes. Because when you have good trunk stability, your glutes can also work happy with every other muscle. So whether or not you want to grow that peach or just rehab yourself, get out of pain, whatever it is, we want to make sure we're doing it in harmony with our whole body because we do not want problems down the track. Okay, so let's get into it. So this right here is probably the most common one that I see being done. So you're gonna know next time you do a glute bridge, you're not gonna fall for this. So do not, if you hear someone say this, focus on squeezing your glutes as you come up and then keeping that squeeze the whole time and really be very slow to lower it down, keeping that squeeze, like just squeeze it on the way down. No, no, no. What, who, why? When you are pressing through your feet, you will create input to your brain to say, hey, fire up those glutes. My glutes will naturally start to fire. I'll feel a little bit of firmness, squeeziness, but I'm not like, oh my God, forcing it like till the cows go home kind of thing. I'm literally pressing those feet into the floor, especially my heel bone, and it's firing up my glutes. My glutes are getting firmer, but it's not because it's a force, okay? And then when I go down, my glute tension slowly starts to fade because my body is not getting the same input. It's not getting that, from the floor, push, push, push. The pressure is going down. It's relaxing. So it would be completely silly for me to go against what's natural in my training because my favorite example, bicep curl squeeze, lengthen on the way down. I do not like force my bicep to squeeze while I'm going down. No, you can though, however, do a bicep curl or train any muscle and go slow on the way down. Yeah, that's gonna make it harder and more challenging, but you don't have to force a contraction. That is not protecting your lower back. That is not optimizing your glutes in any way. That's just a bunch of bologna and cheese whiz. Okay, the next thing you wanna do is if you've done a lot of Pilates or a rehab stuff, you might have done a lot of pelvic tilts just to mobilize the area, which is great. Okay, cool. But when you're really trying to strengthen your glutes for performance, okay, you want to have trunk stability. So if you're doing hip thrust, glute bridges, maintain this. So hold those bones right here on your hip, hold your ribs and stay neutral and go up and down without this, funky flow stuff going on. Like keep it stable, up and down. And when it comes to the core, you might be like, oh, am I supposed to brace, do this, rah. You are making it more complicated than you need it to be, or somebody else is making it more complicated than it needs to be. I'll just be clear. There are some people that we might need to make modifications, put their body in a better alignment because they might have injuries, they might have special situations. Okay, we need to set them up a little bit, okay? But after that, and for a lot of people, general population, I do not need to overemphasize things, okay? Because that will just stress you out. So if you have a special situation, make sure you speak to somebody and they can help you with that alignment. But if you know that you don't have any trauma in your body, you are generally okay, just focus on breathing in through the nose and exhaling as you come up. And even if you're not doing it perfect, over time, you're actually gonna get better. You're gonna figure more things out. So you have to give yourself that. Okay, and with this last one, it is a little bit trickier to see it or maybe feel it in your body, but I'm gonna share with you the squat version first because that is easier. And then I'm gonna show you the lunge or split squat or variation of those, what commonly goes wrong. It is a little bit harder to understand or catch right away, so if you don't catch it, don't stress out. Over time, you might get it. So when you go into your squat, you want to make sure, you know how I was in the glute bridge, I was talking about maintaining that stability from here to here. So we want to make sure that as we drop down, we can maintain that. And when you are loading, when you want to strengthen things and just, prevent against back pain, just get your body back to a ground level, you want to focus on going how low you can go with that neutral spine. We do not have to race to go Asian squat and tuck the tail here. Chances are most people can already do that, or shall I say, no, most, like some people that have back pain can already do that because they've got problems, but this is not what I want to teach somebody in terms of a strength-based exercise. So when I'm focusing on strength, I wanna focus on length and control in my trunk here. So everything is long and working nicely. So just being able to go wherever you can go, even if it's here, that's fine. Slowly work on it. Over time, you're gonna be able to go lower and lower and lower. There's obviously a few reasons why some people can't go lower, but again, a story for another day, but just focus on that because that is actually pretty hard to do for most people, just to have endurance. So do not discredit yourself if you can only do a few reps, or maybe you can do a lot of reps and you are not feeling challenged. Try holding it isometrically. Literally just hang out here for a good time, it's a challenge for your whole body. All right, and then now focusing on that element when we're in a split squat or a lunge. So what that actually looks like is the same story, basically, how we can kind of tip without realizing it in order to try to go lower, like a lot of people do. And people might say, oh, just put your knees over your toe. It's totally fine if you go knees over toe. But yeah, okay, it's good to have that range, but why is it happening? Sometimes knees going over toe is not the solution to our problem. So in this case, I want to stick my tail out. When I stick my tail out, my knee will go a little bit of an angle, but it doesn't need to go over there. And that just means I'm shoving my pelvis more forward. So I actually want to just not fully go too far. Find that sweet spot, and that's gonna give you that trunk stability from here as you're going up and down. So you're gonna feel that length. We talk about this one a lot. So that length part right here, and then you come up here. You lengthen down here, you come up here. Now, there's many variations, there's many things on technique that we can discuss for you if it is not working for you, that's maybe causing you pain, and a few modifications can go a long way. So that's gonna help you get off on the right start so that when you're training your glutes, you're gonna feel more confident, you're gonna start feeling the right areas work. And if you're not, don't worry, it takes practice, it takes patience, it takes actually maybe another pair of eyes to see what you need to work on, because sometimes we just literally need help. So whether you get help from me or somebody else, what's important is that you are being proactive, and from there, you're going to just get better and better.